So let's get right to it. It says 7 secrets on how to combat, on how to what? Combat. Let's take the word combat and circle that word combat, please. On how to combat. Because combat means there's a war, correct? Yes. Combat means there's a battle. And right now you see there's a battle inside you. There's a battle inside you of if you're going to commit or if you're going to quit. See, there's a battle of committing and of quitting. Too many people these days will not commit, they will quit. And when you see here, it says to combat the negative bombardment. There is 85,000 negative thoughts a day fed into our minds. You can drive from here to Fort Lauderdale Airport and be depressed just from the billboards and bumper stickers. And that's without the radio on, and that's without your fancy phones texting you, and that's without all your negative friends sending you negative emails. Isn't that amazing? So tonight, I'm going to teach you the secrets on how to bombard that. Plus, learn how you can literally explode your results in life right now. Secret number 7 tonight that I'm going to teach is the multi-billionaire secret. Oh, how do I know that, John? Apply it and see what happens, which we're going to be teaching tonight. So you guys ready? Yep. All right. How many of you are in business? How many of you love to close? How many of you look forward to closing? How many of you are so excited about changing people's lives? See, God gave you butterflies, not cockroaches in your stomach. So if the butterflies are flying, that means you're excited. The challenge is there's a battle. The butterflies sometimes never get out, which we're going to discuss tonight. And also I'll be teaching from my favorite book, Champions Are Born, Losers Are Made. I believe each and every one of you were born a champion. Every person in this room is a champion. Every one of you. See, there's 2 things I know about you. You're here tonight and your birthday. That's all I know. All the excuses from the negative people in your past, they're wrong. See, the committee of they always tell you what you can do. They end up nowhere. Isn't that very powerful? See, for those of you that do not know my story, how many of you have, this is the first time seeing me speak tonight? Oh, excellent. Congratulations. I'm excited you're here tonight. And also, thank you to all the people who invited you out tonight because your friends invited you here, correct? It's all about changing people's lives. You could thank Gigi Sharon, right? She invited me. She invited you? Well, I'll tell my story real short. It's in all my books and all my teachings. I was born November 5th, 1965, room 404, 8:35 a.m. My mom, who many of you have met, my mom and dad, we got some classic stories. For the LFC event coming up next week, I'm probably going to do an hour on my mom and dad, what just went on last weekend down there. My dad had to get a security door because there's some crazy people in his neighborhood. He lives in Boca Chica, I mean, it's a classic. The security door looks like a screen door that you bought in Nobody Beats the Wiz in the Bronx. That's a security door, but that's a different story. So as you can hear by my accent, I was born in New York. Do you know why? Because you end up sounding like who you associate with. See, as I said earlier, associations build character. Well, when I was 4 years of age, my family, because they loved me so much, took me back to the hospital because where I come from in New York, there was crawl spaces and basements, and they would throw all the kids downstairs and say, don't call your mom and dad and your aunts who love you so much unless there's blood. Does anybody know that story? They started to notice I wasn't speaking. They said, well, what's wrong with Little John? That's my nickname, Little John, because there's so many Johns in my family. They said, well, Little John is not speaking. They took me to the hospital, and the professional people put the big earmuffs on me, like kind of the ones like Sandra's wearing tonight. Every time I see Sandra recording or somebody recording me, I think of that story. Because I was sitting there with the earmuffs on, and every time I had to hear like a wind blowing sound in my ears, I had to tap on the table. For 30 minutes it went on. They came out. Who came out? They came out, the doctors. And they told my parents, they said, we believe. We what? Believe. See, your beliefs build your foundation. Your foundations build your structure. They said to me, we believe that your son, John DeLemme, is going to be a stutterer. Because my parents loved me so much, they put me into speech class. That was the age of 4. The age of 18, I graduated high school. I went on to Mercy College. I was actually featured in Time Magazine. This is not me. This is Lee Iacocca. But under Mercy College, 10,000 students. See, I do this. I show this. This is called social proof. See, we live in a day and age people can lie so much because of the internet. That's why we do these live events. You come out and meet Nancy Matthews face to face. You meet Susan. You meet our team. You meet people face to face. Well, I was chosen to be featured in that magazine for the business division. I was #2 business student. I was afraid of my own shadow. I couldn't say my name. I didn't get a New York State Regents because I couldn't pass the oral report for Italian class. Father Auguste de Blasi, I still remember his big finger. He used to be a boxer before he was a priest. True story. I remember his big finger pointing to me. Are you with me or against me? Are you with me or against me, Signor Delemy? And I couldn't get up. I was shackled. That's why, if you notice, when I teach from the 10 life lessons, the first thing you're going to learn is how to release the shackles. It says right there, you're going to release the shackles on your life. And just so you know, the DVD of the month for October is called the fear vein. Everybody has that vein over your ankle that pumps. Everybody have that vein? It's called the fear vein. And that attaches to the shackle on your ankle that's invisible but connects it to your past. Anybody have that? We're going to learn how we're going to rip that shackle off and get that vein from the fear vein to the faith vein. Well, guess what? That night, March 15th was that night. See, tonight is what? September 24th. What year? 09. Well, March 15th, 1990, I went out to an event like this. About 75% less people. There was about 15 people in a room, and I got introduced to the world of self-development. I got introduced to this book, Think and Grow Rich, which I have with me tonight. This is my original book. That I went out to the White Plains Gallery and bought it. This book changed my life. I went to 14 years of speech pathology. I went to psychotherapists. If you take a look at my teeth, I have a space in my tooth. They gave me braces to open up my teeth to breathe correctly. I was told by a professional speaking organization now close to 9 years ago I would never speak professionally. That's pretty much of a joke, isn't it? And the reason why I tell you that story is because the #1 university you must graduate from is the University of Adversity. The University of Adversity. And every university you know you graduate from, you have to take tests. Because through a test is when you can pass that test to graduate. Well, the University of Adversity, you got to take numerous tests. And that's where you get a testimonial. The root of the word testimonial is test. And that's why Nancy Matthews went through some tests. And just recently, last week, when I called you out, and I hung up the phone. I said, if Nancy doesn't show up tomorrow night, I'm not too sure about her yet. Did I say that, Christy? But I said I believe in Nancy. She'll be here. And I say that out of love for Nancy because I care about her and her vision. And I understand how easy it is to get distracted and confused. And if she was there and she came walking down with a whole team, I'm like, they're even early. That's awesome. The whole team was there. It was great. It was awesome. It was awesome, and lives were changed. And I say that tonight, so when I go through these secrets, it's based upon what I know right now because of the negative bombardment. We are bombarded every day with the fear flu. The most deadliest flu out there is the fear flu. Every word people say. And tonight, you know, I teach a lot about words. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'll be dropping some of it in. But the fear flu is ridiculous, isn't it? And that's why right now, for those champions you train and learn and listen and apply small principles, your life's going to explode. Secret #1 is extreme commitment. Extreme commitment. See, Nancy Matthews is extremely committed. I am extremely committed. Each and every day I do self-development. I'm doing more self-development. I'm doing more learning than ever before in my life. And I'm going to read from page 43 of the Champions Are Born, Losers Are Made book. Chapter 6 is about the word extreme. Leaders must be extreme as in extremely committed, extremely focused, and extremely passionate. Leadership requires that kind of extreme commitment, focus, and passion. The question I have to ask you is, are you extreme? See, when people, I was speaking, I think Christy was sharing this, Christy with a K, because my wife looks up when I say it, so Christy with a K. Christy with a K says that people think you're nuts now when they walk into your office and they see your goals, they start laughing, you said, right? People will start laughing at you when they start seeing you go to another level in life.